Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Salsabila Annisa Rohma from Extensive Reading G. Today I would like to present about my news report, and in this video I make the point from the news. For first news is Sydney locks down parts of city in race against outbreak of Delta variant. Sydney will go into a partial lockdown on Friday as officials in Australia's most populous city try to stamp out a growing outbreak of the highly contagious Delta variant of the coronavirus. The new cluster, which began last week with an airport limousine driver, has expanded to 65 cases, with the number expected to rise. Contact tracers have plotted the virus path through venues that include a shopping mall, nail salons, hairdressers, and cafes in the city center and eastern suburbs. The New South Wales state government is hoping the week-long lockdown will act as a circuit breaker, avoiding the need for further restriction. Premier Gladys Berejiklian said Friday that she would like to see the outbreak end sooner rather than later, but this is really to make sure that we can prevent further spread and prevent further dislocation, she added. Four local government areas within Sydney were due to enter a lockdown with 11 p.m. local time, with residents only allowed to leave home for reasons that include essential work, outdoor exercise in groups of fewer than 10, to seek medical care and to shop for groceries and other essential services. Officials and scientists are especially troubled by the upper ease with which the Delta variant, first detected in India, passes from person to person. Video footage at a shopping mall and in a cafe shows the limo driver and people who became infected had only fleeting contact, which scientists say proved it is possible to catch the virus simply from sharing the same airspace as an infected person. Some 900 customers visited one hairdresser during the period in which the virus may have been circulating, health officials said. At least 3 staff members and 2 clients have contracted the virus so far. Australia's slow vaccination rollout is hindering efforts to contain the virus spread. Only about 4% of the population is fully vaccinated, and roughly a quarter have received one dose of either the Oxford AstraZeneca or Pfizer BioNTech vaccines, far below the rate in the United States, Canada, or European countries. Some epidemiologists are calling for Australia to rethink its rollout, and unlike countries where the virus is circulating widely, vaccines its young people before it protects its old, because they are more likely to contract the virus in social settings and spread it around. Second news is Florida rescue workers pull 37 people from building collapse. Officials in the southeast U.S. state of Florida said they did not know what caused part of a 12-story Bedford condominium building to collapse early Thursday in a town just north of Miami, killing at least one person and leaving at least 99 others missing. Miami-Dade fire rescue assistant Chef Raid Jadalah told reporters emergency crews responded to the scene in the town of Surfside about 2 a.m. local time. He said the northeast corner of the building, which contained about 55 units, had collapsed. He said rescue crews removed 35 occupants from the intake structure and pulled two others from the collapsed portion of the building. He said that more than 80 emergency units responded to the scene. Jeddah said 10 people were treated for injuries at the scene. Surfside Mayor Charles Burkett said two victims were taken to a local hospital where one has pronounced dead. Burkett said he had been told the collapsed section of the building was full of tenants and he expected the death toll to rise. Early Burkett told reporters it was hard to imagine how the apartment complex built in the 1980s could collapse, saying, "Building does not just fall down." During a press conference Thursday, President Joe Biden said FEMA was ready to respond and assist in rescue efforts. "We are ready to move federal resources immediately," he said. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis visited the site, saying it was traumatic to see. "It is a tragic day," DeSantis said at the Thursday afternoon news conference. "We still have hope to be able to identify additional survivors." The third news is Australia urged to rescue former interpreters in Afghanistan. Australia is being urged to agree to immediate emergency evacuation of Afghans who worked for its military during the long conflict in Afghanistan. Campaigners this week released a list of the names of 9 Afghans who worked for Australia during the conflict in Afghanistan and were allegedly murdered as traitors by the Taliban in reprisal attack. This is despite a recent announcement the Taliban made pledging they would not retaliate against Afghans who work with foreign groups. Islamic militants are attempting to retake control of Afghanistan as foreign forces leave. Interpreters played a key role during the conflict. Campaigners have said about 1,000 Afghans are still going through Australia's visa process, but they say it is taking too long. Stuart McCarthy, an ex-Australian soldier who was deployed to Afghanistan twice, has been an advocate for former Afghan interpreters and other staff. He said he believed the closure last month of the Australian embassy in Kabul has made it much harder for the interpreters to leave Afghanistan safely. He has submitted an emergency evacuation plan to the Australian government. McCarthy told the Australian Broadcasting Corp the rescue mission should be undertaken without delay. It could still be conducted very rapidly, very effectively, and in my view, it would be a very good way for us to end our 20 years long military commitment to Afghanistan. And in my view, now if we are not making this sort of decision today or tomorrow, essentially what we will be doing is allowing these civilians to be strangulated by the Taliban, he said. And our own government, including our Prime Minister, would have blood on their hands. Senior foreign affairs officials in Canberra have conducted that locals who work with the Australian military in Afghanistan are in. Australian Immigration Minister Alex Hawke has tried to assure Afghan interpreters waiting for a protection visa they were being given the highest priority in the humanitarian program. Hawke said 180 visas has been issued since April, but he would not reveal how many applications were still being assessed because of operational and security reasons. Independent Senator Jack Columbia told the federal Senate that it was absolutely shameful to leave the interpreters without protection. The world, she said, is watching how we treat our mates.